TransLink says this project has taken a key piece of the city's architectural heritage and transformed it into a modern transport hub. In all, £27 million, the majority of which has come from the European Union, has been invested to restore the old Victorian station. It was built at a cost of £5,000 in 1873 and served the city for a century. It was bombed twice in the 70s and closed down in 1980. But the campaign to restore it continued, and today commuters were delighted.
I think it's lovely. It really is very smart and very modern. It's absolutely lovely. It's not unlike an airport either.
TransLink says it hopes commuters will now get out of their car and embrace the transport hub.
Climate change is a big issue for us, and we need to see more people using public transport. And we estimate over the next 10 years we really need to see an investment of around £3 billion in our public transport network.
TransLink says it's aware of the campaign to increase the frequency on this line to places like Belfast and Dublin. The company says it's giving active consideration to that demand on an ongoing basis. Kieran Turish, BBC Newsline, Derry.
They were the trains that sustained the Northern Ireland railway system from the 70s through to the noughties. The 80 class train was a familiar sight then, and now steps are being taken to preserve this unique piece of railway rolling stock from going to the scrapper. It's affectionately known as the Thumper.
Class 80 rolling stock were known as Thumpers because of the distinctive engine noise that they made when they were operating across our network, with a very distinctive thumping sound which was heard for a significant distance before the train actually arrived in the station. They operated right up until September 2011. Certainly during the 70s and 80s they were the main workhorse of the Northern Railway's fleets.
Two of the trains have been kept and are being restored. One of them, number 69, was the last cross-border peace train between Belfast and Dublin. After going out of passenger service, the Thumpers were used as leaf busters to keep the tracks clear in the autumn. They had to be painted yellow to stop people getting on board when they pulled in at stations. Now, these two are being repainted in their original NIR colours before being handed over to Downpatrick and County Down Railway, where they'll operate as a visitor attraction on their line.
It's very unique to Northern Ireland. There's nothing else like them in the world. To be a part of preserving something that's unique to us, to our railway heritage, and not something that you'd see over in Great Britain is wonderful.
Another piece of railway history preserved for future generations to admire and railway enthusiasts now to enjoy. Mervyn Jess, BBC Newsline.
really are very proud of Belfast, aren't you, Darren, despite everything?
Well, yes, I am, and that's probably because I know it. I've lived here most of my 30 years. And people outside tend only to see the bomb damage and the demolition. You know, this might look like a demolition site, but in fact it's not. This is a good sign of how Belfast building up. I mean, look behind. This is our new railway station, £4 million worth. This is building for the future.
Rising from the ashes of the old and all that sort of thing. There's an awful lot of glass around here, Darren.
Well, that maybe just shows you how hopeful we are.
And this is the 10:15 to Belfast.
You couldn't have chosen a better season for travelling.
Single track and stately speeds show where the transport priorities lie in Northern Ireland, but it certainly stops you from rushing. We're running through South Armagh. Monday morning on the Tipperary line, and ancestor hunting begins in earnest.
Train now arriving on platform number 1, serves Charleville, Mallow and Cork, with a connection at Mallow for Bantier, Bay Street, Bradmore, Killarney.
This is the fastest service on Irish Rail, connecting Dublin with the second biggest city, Cork, in 2.5 hours. She even offers me a fax machine, but I don't know. I suppose I'm old-fashioned.
Hello?